Hey gang, welcome to Tuesday night. This is Janet Callahan, also known as Lady Arian Rod. Hey, tonight I want to talk about pagan parenting books. Part of the reason this one comes to mind this week is that over in the Magical Moms Club, we are starting our book club tomorrow, which I'm running a little behind on getting prepped for and getting questions put together for the first chapter. But tomorrow we are starting on Family Wicca by Ashleen Ogia. This is the older first edition of the book. It's been around a while now. What date is in this one? 1998. There is a newer version out there as well, but used copies are pretty darn cheap. Cheaper than the Kindle copy, so if you're going to participate in the book club and haven't gotten your book yet, feel free to go get a used copy somewhere. So like back in the 90s, there were 3 or 4 good, decent books on pagan parenting that showed up. There was, I think 2 by Kristen Madden, one on pagan homeschooling and one on pagan parenting. And hers is an interesting perspective because she was raised in a pagan household. There's 2 by Ashleen Ogia, this one, and then what's the other one called? What is it called? Oh yeah, Raising Witches, which is really more about teaching Wicca to children. And then there was another one called Wicca Craft for Families. And those were like, those plus Circle Round were the big ones. Circle Round is still pretty popular. These 4 or 5 books that have been out there forever are still out there. I think all of them are still in print, or almost all of them. There have been a few new pagan parenting books that have been out lately. I've got one that I'm reading right now. Which I don't remember what it's called either. Of course, I never remember what they're called. This is what happens when you have too many books. I know there's not such a thing as too many books, but really I've outgrown the 2 big floor-to-ceiling bookshelves in here. So I have like 6 feet of books, and I'm out of space on my magical bookshelves. Children of the Green, which is by Dr. Hannah E. Johnson. It was published in, I think, 2014, and it's fairly interesting. The introduction is really, really good. I'm not greatly fond of the first chapter, but we're going to keep going. And then there are a couple of others that are out there that I've got kind of put away, put on my list to go read, because I've not done a lot of reviews lately, but I have a ton of books here to finish reviewing. Most of these parenting books are ones that I didn't actually review on my website because I didn't get to them. Kenya says she has the Family Wicca book. Yeah, it came out super early on. And I bought a copy of it way early when we were very first involved in Spiral Scouts, trying to find out what else we should be doing and, looking for information, right? Because my whole thing was we were getting into this, and I was in a relationship, and I wanted kids, and I wanted to know what was out there and what I was supposed to do. I grew up in a very conservative church. I went to Sunday school every week. We went to Sunday school the weeks that my parents didn't go to church. Literally, they would drop us off at the door, send us into Sunday school, and they would go off to a restaurant to have breakfast. So it was always a little weird to me that was such a thing, but it really was at our house. So all of our learning really came from Sunday school and then from our confirmation classes. And I always felt like there had to be a better way to teach this sort of stuff. So it was a good learning experience for me way early in the beginning. Ooh, 4 people. I don't think I've ever had this many people watch a live stream ever. So welcome everybody. Hi, howdy. So, obviously I wrote a pagan parenting book called Parenting Pagan Tots because at the time I was writing, it wasn't a big open thing. Christy says her parents did the same thing about dropping kids off at Sunday school and then going to breakfast. Yeah, I just don't get it. I like looking back, it's just the most bizarre thing to me. So, you know, there are books out there, but there's not a ton, and it's not like there's a lot on like parenting styles. It's more like some of these are more like what I would call Wicca 101 for children, right? Or they're like, I don't know how to explain it exactly. Like the other, not Family Wicca, but the other one by Ashley Nagia really is about how to teach Wicca to children rather than how to raise children in a specific way. It was actually the very first place that I ran into the idea of like moon day school, a pagan version of Sunday school, right? So from that perspective, it's always interesting to me to see how we adapt our experiences as children who've grown up in other systems, and how we adapt our experiences learning about our own beliefs and how we roll that all together into a new thing for kids. So yeah, I'm going to get back to trying to do reviews. I am way behind on reading and need to get some of that done. But so between the book club and getting some reviews done, I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done over the next few months, especially now that it's going to be cold and snowy here in Michigan. And what else is up here on the bookshelf that I should like make sure we talk about? I don't know. I'll have to go back and compare my list of books to my list of things we've actually reviewed, because I kind of stopped doing reviews for a while and I want to get back into doing it. Anyway, so let me know, what books do you like, either from a parenting perspective or for children specifically? Like I said, we're going to start on our book club over in the Magical Moms Club this week, and we'll be looking for some ideas on what books to attack after we get through this one. We're going to try for a chapter a week, and this has 1, 2, 3, 7 chapters, 8 chapters, and the chapter 8 is pretty short. So, I mean, I think it'll be pretty straightforward and pretty quick. So that puts us somewhere in November. So by the middle of November, we need a new book. And we may range a little farther than just pagan parenting specifically. I think there are a few things that we could pull into this that would be interesting. I have some books here on rites of passage. I have some activity books. And what else? I don't know. I guess we'll see where that takes us and figure out what else we can pull from. If you want to know what I'm looking at as I'm looking over to the side, we have basically floor-to-ceiling books. This is my little library / office here. And that's where I get all of my not all of the magical books, but most of the magical books are here. So, Kenya says Star Magic by Ted Andrews. I don't think I've read that one. We'll have to go look. I think the only thing I have by Ted Andrews is his Totem one. But I don't see it in my stash of Totem books either, so that's interesting. Who knows? I'll have to investigate. I have books piled everywhere right now because I was making notes on stuff for one of my classes. Okay, well, that's way longer than most of my live streams run. So I think I am going to probably call it good for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. And if you're over in the Magical Moms Club, we'll talk about books more tomorrow. And I will see you soon. Have a great week.